Yeah.
So many great games.
I remember when the Dreamcast came out, and they had that little sample thing at the electronics store. I mean,
Oh yeah,
every time
little demo.
every time I went there, I just stayed there and just played Sonic Adventure for the longest.
Same here, man. Same here.
I love that game. I wanted to get a Dreamcast, but I didn't know. All of a sudden, it just disappeared. I was wondering what happened to the Dreamcast. They just stopped making games for it. I guess.
Well, I'm probably going to do.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just going to say I'm probably going to do a retrospective on the Dreamcast. You know, just explaining what happened because there were so many factors which basically Sega couldn't combat. Basically, you know, there was the PS2 which was coming around the corner.
Oh.
The fact that Saturn didn't do so well.
Oh.
And so many other things.
I thought one of the factors was hacking.
Yeah, that's the one. People could pirate games, but they didn't have to mod the console.
Oh man, that is bad.
Because with the PS1, you plug in this thing at the back and you have to, you know, connect it and whatever. With the Dreamcast, all you had to do was have a decent, you know, connection and just download a couple of games, put them on a disc, and there you go, a game.
Wow.
Yeah.
No necessary hacking or anything? No soft mods?
Nope, not at all. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I can see how that can really hurt you. Especially especially a company like Sega. I mean, it's not that big as Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. So,
No.
that kind of,
yeah, you know,
I can see how that probably killed Sega.
Guess what? They basically said as well was when they were doing SegaNet, because they were the first guys to ever have an active online system, which they called SegaNet, and they said if you sign up for SegaNet, we'll give you a Dreamcast, and no one still bought them. Give you a Dreamcast, just please sign up. But, no.
When was that?
This was back in about 2000, I think.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
If I would have known about that, I would have signed up right away. Just to have a Dreamcast, it's a great system to have.
It is fantastic, and Capcom really supported it as well, especially near the end with games like Power Stone, Street Fighter 3, all the
Power Stone's my baby. I love that game.
That game needs to they need to make Power Stone 3 because, you know, Super Smash Brothers is kind of at the top with the party fighting game, but you know,
You put Power Stone.
You know, a little bit of
Power
competition
Stone
never hurt.
on the Wii. It belongs on the Wii.
Very
I mean,
bad.
Sega's coming out with so many games on the Wii now, and now they're coming out with TVC, which I'm pretty sure TVC is going to get some high ratings. I mean, it's going to be one of them big competitive games I'm going to see in a lot of tournaments and stuff. Because looking at it, I mean, it'll just be an excellent competitive like game.
I think I've already seen it in Evo. You know, the big fighting game tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they play it there a bit.
Oh, and TVC is going to be released. Here's the official date: is January 26th, 2010.
January 26th.
2010. So go reserve it.
That's going to be the day.
Go reserve it.
That's going to be the day when I'm sick.
All right, next thing on the list is the Wii HD. This is one of the questions that were on the forum. Oh, you said it was a rumor of the Wii HD?
Yeah, it's a rumor, and it's one of the suggestions that we got on the forum to talk about. And basically, I heard from this from a guy who I knew in a independent game shop who's quite nearby, and he went to a show that Nintendo were displaying this Wii HD like add-on sort of thing. And really what it is it sits underneath your console, kind of like the stand. That stand wasn't meant to be permanent, it was supposed to be replaced with an adapter, and you put it underneath there and you plug it in, and it just, you know, outputs in HD. That's really all it does.
Whoa. Kind of a serious add-on. Kind of sounds like that'll be pretty pricey.
Yeah.
I'm looking at if something like that would be added onto the Wii. That's like adding a new graphics card on the Wii. So.
Kind of, yeah.
I suppose here, like $150. Seriously, it's gonna be a big jump. I mean, if third parties support it and Nintendo supports it, which they need to, if it comes out, I'd buy it. I would buy it. But
I probably would, yeah,
like I
but
said
the
before,
thing
so
is,
many games, so little money.
the thing is though, throughout the history of gaming, add-ons never really caught
Yeah,
on. Like I'm sure you've heard of Sega
yeah, the
CD,
Sega CD.
uh,
I say
X. Those,
the only perpetual that's been so successful would probably be the Guitar Hero guitar.
oh yeah, but that's a peripheral
Oh
though, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, man. Oh, you mean like add-ons to systems?
Yeah, you know, something that you have to have in order to play this kind of game or something, you know.
Yeah, that sucked for Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. You had to get the memory expansion.
Yeah. And there was only like four or three games that actually used the expansion pack, which, you know, and it was expensive and rare to find.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the Wii HD? You think it's gonna go through?
Like you said, I think it's probably going to be really expensive, but I'd probably buy it just so we can get more games for it. If there's going to be games specifically for it,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna be like the same reason why I would buy a DSi.
Yeah.
But which I don't have right now because there's no specific DSi games that I want to play.
That's true.
So,
Isn't Scribblenauts DSi
no,
compatible?
because I got
that-
because I got it from my DS. I'm playing it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
But yeah,
But yeah,
hopefully, I think Nintendo should just wait until next generation and just
Yeah,
come out with
that
a
would
whole
probably be
new
best.
system. I mean,
because don't do what Sega did, adding more things on. It never really worked.
how many Sega add-ons were like 3 or 4? There
was
weren't there?
Yeah, there was 3. There was 2 which was actually released, and there was 1 that was discontinued. So, because the thing is though, when the 32X came out, which was the second one, they kind of thought to themselves, well, the thing is though, Sega Saturn is coming out soon, so what's the point in putting this out? Sega Saturn's probably going to come in a couple of months, so we're kind of wasting our time. So there was only like a few games for it. And most of them were crap.
It kind of sounds like the Panasonic 3DO. You ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
You heard of that?
I've heard of that.
It was in the same. It was the same story with the PS3. I thought the PS3 was gonna die just like that system. It was $600. I mean, at the time, it was like the Panasonic 3DO was $600. It was like it was like the early 1990s. And
wow.
this thing was $600. You imagine how much it would cost now? It'd probably be around $1,000. And they dare release a system like that at $600. It had like 6 games.
Wow.
That's
failed.
Complete fail. That's how the PS3 is. A really high price tag. At the beginning, it barely had any games. Now it's starting to get its support. It has some games that I want to play. That's why I got one.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
But yeah, there's a failed consoles, and most of them for the right reasons. But the Dreamcast.
All right. Next thing that came up on the forums, the what do you call it? Dead Space Extraction reviews.
Oh yeah, there was someone commented on how Dead Space Extraction. Some pretty decent reviews. IGN gave 8.5, which is impressive, as they say. But apparently it keeps on getting bashed by the fanboys.
Kind of sounds like the Conduit.
Yeah,
sounds exactly like the Conduit.
Like as soon as the Wii gets a quote unquote hardcore title, they start bashing it. I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah. IGN called the game. It's a rail shooter, but it still is Dead Space. It's very much likely Dead Space. And if it's Dead Space, that means it'll scare the crap out of you. Really. One of the most psychological games I've ever played. It gets into your head.
I haven't actually played the original Dead Space. I've played the demo though, but I've heard a lot of things about it.
It's pretty freaking scary. I mean, it'll get to you. Just jumps, and they execute the sounds so perfectly just to mess around with your head. Really good.
Nice. It's one
really great game. Alright, Dead Space Extraction. I want that game. since
Me
since
too. It looks
since
fun.
I got, I mean, I usually don't go out and buy rail shooters, but this is probably the best looking rail shooter I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Really?
And I don't think it's
Have you played Half the Dead? Overkill. Do you like it?
oh man, I just don't like every other word as an F bomb.
Oh.
I mean, me. Sometimes I curse myself, but too much, just too much. that just.
I guess you don't stereotypical black guy. Where everything he says has to be the F word.
Oh man, but Dead Space Extraction, I want the game, and I don't know why people want to bash